So here are the very basics of setting up your very first PowerPoint. Now, I'm sure many of you have done this before, but there might be some true beginners out there, so I'll just go over this quickly. When you start your PowerPoint, you get your very first slide, and here you can start writing your title and any subtitle that you need. Okay. If you need to create a new slide, you can see they're numbered here on the side, number 1. Very easily, just click New Slide, and you get your default new slide. Now, the way they give you slides is, the first one is called a title slide. The second one is what we call a title with body content slide. Now, this is probably the one that's most used out of all of them. You can see here, right? Some topic, and then point 1, point 2, etc. Now, I'm going to add another slide, and I want to show you the various layouts that you can use. You don't always have to stick with this title and content slide. If you can see down here, there's this little arrow here that you can see your different layouts, is what we call them. Okay, so this is the one that we've been given, but you can change them. Here's section header, to content, comparison for pros and cons, things like that, and a completely blank slide, which I'll show you in a later lesson. Okay, so you can feel free to choose among those. When you do choose one, for example, and let's say you do want to change it, you can actually go back up here and change the layout of your slide. You can see that it is selected this one, and if I want, I can, change the layout of my slide, like so, etc. If you want to edit things, you can just go back into your slide, start clicking. You can see it will highlight boxes as necessary. Okay, you can do things like change font size. I'm sure you're aware of that. One thing people might not know is, if I want to change all of the font, one thing I can do is select everything, or if I click just on the edge of the box, like so, you can see that cursor disappears. If I click on the edge of the box, that means I'm modifying everything that's inside. So now if I use bold, I can change the size. I don't actually have to select my text, it just applies to everything inside this box. Okay. Another thing people don't often use is modifying these boxes as necessary. Now, I just have these little points here. There's no reason why I need this huge box. So one thing you can do is you can actually resize the boxes and move them around as you like. And you can see you can achieve your own custom layouts by doing this. You can even rotate things as necessary. Right? If you feel the need to do that, if you're trying to go for some sort of specific look. Right? Same with this. Right? If I have it like this, you can still move it around, but as you can see, it kind of falls off the edge of your slide. So often resizing to exactly what you need. Right? This also lets you kind of align things. Did you see that little dotted line on there that appeared? Right? So this helps you kind of line things up. Right there, I have the exact center of my slide. So again, if I resize that, move it around, I can get that right dead center. Okay, so do modify the things in your slides as necessary. Okay, don't just take what's given to you and just work with that. Right, same with this. If I don't have a subtitle, right, I don't even need that. It just creates clutter. I can just hit the cancel key, right, and just get rid of it. Right? Just left my title. The next common thing that people often do is changing the actual design of the slide. Now, not many people like just a white slide with black font, so what they can do is go up here to design, and as you can see, there's many types of designs. Right? You can just kind of scroll through them. Right? It's important to choose a design that kind of fits what you're talking about. Right? Sometimes it's very hard to find exactly what you're looking about. So, but what to avoid is, if you're going to choose a design like that, Probably not the best design if I'm talking about like space travel and technology or something like that. Maybe something about baking cakes. It might be a little more to that kind of effect. Right? And you can see how this design works. Let's get rid of that. In the newer versions of PowerPoint, you get this design ideas, but in older versions, you don't get that. Anyways, so here's that kind of cake theme, I suppose you can call it. Right? If I wanted to change theme again, you can see it does change all of my slides. And there might be cases that you don't want to change all of the slides, but let's say I just want to change this one right there. If that's the case, if I only want to change one, if I go up here and I use my right click instead of my left click, so I right click and I get some options, and you can see that apply to all slides, apply to selected slides, right? So apply to selected slide, and it applies it only to this selected slide. If you ever need to rearrange your slides very easily, you can just grab them and move them wherever you want, whatever order you want. And there's also options if you right click on any of these slides. Right? If I right click on it, you can delete the slide. You can duplicate the slide. Sometimes you want the same thing. So your different options on the right click.